You're listening to the Shalom Sports Podcast with Jack and Joel. Here's your host, Jack Myers and Joel Hoover.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Shalom Sports Podcast with Jack and Joel. We are excited to bring you today's episode and talk about the final games that happened during the fall sports season here at Shalom, the varsity consolation and championship games that our teams participated, as well as giving you a sneak peek here at the upcoming basketball season. I'm Joel Hoover. I work here at Shalom. I have 7th grader Jack Myers joining me today. He's the Jack part of Jack and Joel, in case you didn't figure that out. So how you doing today, Jack?
Great. Glad to be here.
Yeah, it's good to have you here. And what have you been up to since we last had a podcast?
Basketball.
Basketball, yeah. Your favorite time of the year, isn't it?
Favorite time of the year.
Yeah, mine too. And you were on the soccer team, and obviously that was fun at that time. But now we're moving into basketball season here as the temperatures are dropping, the leaves are coming down, and that usually signifies basketball season here at Shalom, and it is an exciting season. But before we get to there, we're going to bring you a little bit of information on what happened in the varsity, the MDCC varsity playoff weekend since our last episode. So when we last left you, our girls were playing in the consolation game in the MDCC, and the battle for third place. And what happened in that consolation game, Jack? This game was down at this game was at Cumberland Valley Christian School a couple weeks ago.
So Shalom girls took third place by beating Faith Academy 3-1. And then the Grace Academy Lady Knights beat the Calvary Eagles 3-0 to win the championship. Maren Shands named first team all-conference, and Maggie Turner for being named to the all-tournament team, as well as MDCC Conference Player of the Year. Congratulations, Maggie.
Yeah, what an exciting honor for one of our players. Maggie Turner, the senior outside hitter for Shalom, being selected Conference Player of the Year. And I believe that's only as far as I know, I asked Mr. Roseman if we've had one in the past, and he said Natasha Gibble was Player of the Year, and I'm trying to remember, that was probably at least 10 years ago or so. So it's been a while since we've had a Player of the Year. So Maggie, well deserving of that award, and we're excited for her and being nominated for that as well. And so that wrapped up the varsity girls volleyball season for the year. So then on the boys side, for varsity boys, they were playing in the championship game a couple weeks ago, taking on Grace Academy Knights here at Shalom. And what happened in that game, Jack?
Shalom scored 4 goals in the first half to get up 4-0, and then Grace scored 1, but that wasn't enough. So they won 4-1 over Grace Academy. Carson Hurst named all-tournament MVP. Will Turner and Break MG Luke Richards also named all-team tournament. All conference players included first team Luke Richards, Brady MG, Drake Wanger, and second team Carson Hurst and Brady Ducart. Yeah, congratulations to our varsity boys team bringing home the championship this year. I believe it's been a 5-year or so drought for the varsity boys, so well-deserved. For them, they worked hard this season and were able to take home the championship trophy. And also congratulations to those who were named all-tournament team as well as all-conference players on the varsity side. And so just a successful season all around for the varsity boys. And that kind of concluded fall sports. And so we are, like we talked about earlier in the show, looking towards basketball now. And so our basketball preview for the year, as our tryouts and practices have started up here at Shalom. In fact, our middle school girls are actually playing games already, which is kind of crazy here in early November. But on the middle school girls side, we have head coach Alan Moore. He's assisted by Patrick Adams, Bart Staley, Micah Gingrich, and Sarah Moore. So an outstanding coaching staff there for our middle school girls. And what happened last year there, Jack, with our middle school girls? They beat CVCS in the championship. I think it was like 21-19 last year.
It was really close.
Yeah,
I think even CVCS had a shot at the end, at least tie or maybe take the lead.
I think Addison Rice blocked it last year to seal the championship.
Exciting finish for sure.
So they're the defending MDCC championships, and they kicked off their season yesterday at the St. Teresa School basketball tournament.
Yeah, there's a new tournament for us for our middle school teams, and down in New Cumberland, Pennsylvania. They're playing their middle school girls this weekend, and then your team, Jack, the middle school boys, playing there next weekend. So it's a nice way to start the season for you guys and kind of get in that rhythm before like league play starts. And so it's good especially for coaches. You have practices, you kind of have inter squad games, but you don't really know what you have as far as what a coach has in his team until you start playing those games. So great experience there for them to be in this tournament. And like you said, Jack, it was an exciting finish last year in the MDCC Middle School Girls Basketball Championship game. And with that championship, we had won the girls 4 in a row now. And we were looking in the gym and the banner, and 11 out of 13. The last 13 years, we've had 11 championship, which is phenomenal and exciting to see that for our program. So now on the middle school boys side, which is your team, Jack, we have head coach Murray Roseman, who's been leading the way for lots of years now. And then he's assisted by Troy Hubers and Jason Wenger. And so how did our boys finish up last year, Jack?
Again, also the MDCC champions defending 4 years in a row, I think. And I think we obliterated Grace last year.
It wasn't a very close game.
Yeah, it was not a close game. It was like 43-15 or something.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was not a close one, but
able to take home the championship.
Yep.
Which is exciting, and I think that gave you guys 4 in a row on the middle school boys side as well, just like the girls, in 5 out of the last 6. So a lot of success there in the middle school side. How's the team looking this year? You probably know better than I do. You're part of it.
We have a really good chance to win this year.
Awesome. Yeah, I think you guys will do well. Coach Roseman does an outstanding job with the young men, and you lost a few 8th graders up to the varsity level, but I think most of the core guys are back.
Yeah.
But yeah, you lost some height, I think. So
like
that might be
Jesse.
the biggest.
Jesse and Christian and Caleb, we lost.
Yeah.
They're in 9th grade this year, so.
Yeah, so it'll be fun watching them up at the varsity level, and so we wish the middle school girls and boys team success this year. So staying with the basketball side, we're going to move up to the varsity high schoolers now, and our varsity girls, head coached by Doug Lehman. It's going to be his 2nd year at the helm, and he's going to be assisted by Brad Moore and Nicole Diller. And if that name Nicole Diller rings a bell, she was actually our cross country coach for boys and girls this past season. Does an outstanding job there. She's a great motivator and encourager, and I think that's going to be an outstanding addition to the varsity girls coaching staff. And so last year, how did we finish last year at the varsity girls level?
We finished 3rd in the MDCC after losing to Broadfording in the semifinals. Broadfording went on to win it all.
Yeah, they have an outstanding girl down there at Broadfording, and she was able to carry her team to a championship last year, and we just did not have an answer for her in the semifinal game last year. So we take the loss. We went into the consolation game, and I think we played Grace. I can't remember. It's a long time ago, but not too shabby, finishing 3rd. That, out of, I think, 7 or 8 teams in the MDCC. And so not a bad season there for the varsity girls, but I know they felt like they fell short and are hoping to use that as some motivation to finish a little better this year. And I know they're going to have a lot of seniors on that team as well as I don't think maybe I shouldn't even say, because I don't know if there's any juniors on the team, but an outstanding sophomore class and a few freshmen there to help out this year. So looking forward to a great season for the varsity girls. And then our last team that we're going to preview here, our varsity boys team, they are led by Danley Shank. And I believe this is going to be maybe his 12th, 13th, maybe even 14th year.
I think last year I remember saying you said it was like his 13th, so 13th. I think this would be his 14th year.
Yeah, so Danley's been around a long time, is an outstanding coach, does well, gets every bit out of our boys as much as he can, and he's just an outstanding coach. He's assisted by Matt Wenger and Edwin Martin, and so I know they're looking forward to a great season as well. And just to recap what they did last year, do you remember what happened last year?
They fell short in the championship game versus Heritage last year. So
yeah, down at Martinsburg. Yeah, it was a great game. I think we just got down a little bit too much and couldn't quite dig ourselves back out of it, but it was an outstanding championship game. And Heritage, an outstanding team in the league as well on the boys' side, and so probably
The team to beat this year.
Probably, the team to beat this year, Heritage Academy, led by Coach Kidd down there, does a great job with his crew and his young men, and look forward to an exciting season. On the varsity boys side, that loss last year in the championship game snapped a back-to-back championships for the Shalom Flames the previous 2 years. And so looking forward to see what happens this year in basketball season. Our varsity teams will kick off their seasons here this coming a week from today, actually. They're going to be in the Covenant Life Tip-Off Tournament, which is a tournament the girls played in last year. But our boys team was invited down this year as well, so they'll get to play. And that's going to be in Gaithersburg, Maryland, again next Friday and Saturday. So that'll be an exciting way to start the season off for our varsity programs. And we look forward to some good basketball games coming up here in a couple weeks as we get into basketball season. So anything else you need to add, Jack?
No, I think we said it all.
Said it all. So we look forward to be back here again soon. Hopefully by the next time we're on here, we'll have rosters for the teams, and so we'll be able to preview the players that are playing and introduce them to you guys, and so that you know who will be participating on our teams this year, and we're looking forward to that. So again, thanks for joining us on the Shalom Sports Podcast with Jack and Jurl, and we hope to be back here again soon.
Thanks for listening to the Shalom Sports Podcast. If you enjoyed today's content, please hit the subscribe button. That will notify you of future content.